Okay, today's a little bit of update on things happening with the airplane and stuff. I have found out that the left fuel gauge was not working because the float ended up having, that's on the actual arm of the fuel gauge sender, actually ended up with a lot of fuel inside it, so it wouldn't float anymore. So I have ordered a new float for that, which should be here before too long. Meanwhile, simply because it's only August and storm season isn't over for a couple months, I thought it would be prudent to actually kind of pickle the engine a little bit, because it's not going to be running while it's in here. And the way we do that is we remove the top cylinders. Here, let me show you. You take out the top cylinders and take or not the top cylinders, but take the spark plugs out of the top cylinders. And we put in, first of all fog the cylinders with some preservative oil. The engine and compartment has been sprayed down with that as well. But we have what's known as dehydrator plugs, which if you look at it, it's actually a hollow plastic tube that screws in, and it's got elements in it, or crystals in it, kind of like those little packs you find in pill bottles and stuff like that, to keep things dry. And that absorbs any moisture that's in the air within the cylinder, and it keeps the engine all nice and fresh and keeps it from having any rust problems. So that's been done, and the only thing about that is when you have those in, you can't rotate the prop around, because if you do, it's possible, if you get enough suction, you could break the membrane that's in those dehydrator plugs, and they'll actually suck in the crystals, which is a little bit of a pain in the ass to clean out. But since nobody's going to be touching the prop, we basically have pickled the engine just to make sure it stays alright, because it'll probably be around October when I finish doing the annual. I do have the one fuel sender to fix, and we still have the cylinders on the front landing gear to fix. So those are also here, but there's no sense in doing it right now. I'll wait until the time gets closer when I'm actually going to take the airplane back to the airport. On a side note, we'll go here. My batteries, the new batteries, which are the lithium iron phosphate batteries, are doing well. And with the solar panels now hooked in, I'm actually generating more power than I'm using on my system. There's my batteries, and they're doing, like I said, well. We're at 58 already this morning. Like I said, the inverter does start to charge the batteries sometime during the night. I don't know when, but when the solar panels come back on, they charge them up pretty quick, and it's actually making more power than I'm using. I am only have my system basically at half capacity, simply because my battery bank is not that large as far as amp hours, but the fact that the batteries are more than willing to produce the current that's necessary, and they have no heating issues or anything like that. And so far they're doing great and wonderful. So my batteries that I replaced are still in good shape, but like I said, they could only do about 100 amp capacity, and my system requires more than that. So these are for sale if you know anybody trying to put together a solar or wind system. A little bit smaller than mine. Mine is 12 kilowatts. These are for sale, and they're for sale basically less than half price than I got in them. So anyway, that's where we stand today. This airplane here, the Comp Air also had its engine done, and it's got dehydrator plugs, and it's been sprayed down with preservative oil and everything else. So, because it's going to be sitting a little bit longer, simply because it's going to be number 2 to be flown. So, anyway, there we have it. That's the update for today, and take care.